Every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every bottle of fine wine, every collectible car, every piece of real estate, every private business, everything of value in the world will eventually be a token. It will create massive wealth, the greatest wealth creation opportunity I'm going to see in my lifetime.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world.
Over $228 trillion is set to flow into the XRP ledger, pushing XRP's price projection to more than $1,937 within just 24 hours. We're witnessing a historic wave of adoption, and the looming supply shock could ignite one of the biggest surges in crypto history. With Bank of America on board and the ISO 20022, global payment standard officially greenlighting XRP for worldwide transactions, the stage is set. On August 18th, this massive capital injection is expected to send XRP soaring, potentially approaching the $2,000 mark overnight. Speculation is running wild that XRP could skyrocket to anywhere between $10,000 and $35,000 per coin in the coming weeks.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Hamilton Clarington, and this is Chain Reaction. So this is why it's good to, even though we're in this sector, we want the price to go up, you have to be mindful of things like this. So yes, it's kind of deceiving in a sense. Not really, but people can take it like that. So 228 trillion coming into it's not just talking about it. It's pretty much saying there's access to $228 trillion. Like the XRPL will have access to 228 trillion. Not to say that all of that's going to go on the XRPL, but that's the market. The real estate market is $228 trillion. So now it may come on to the XRPL, or a portion of that may come to the XRPL ledger. Not all at once, not immediately, but now it's through other RealFi tokens, through Propi, through there's a few others. We're now going to have access to that sector, to that market, the real estate market. But let's take a look here. So and that date was pushed back to the 21st, August 21st. Something was going on with the developer. I thought I had it here. Yeah, the developer is sick or something, so they pushed that date to the 21st. So this isn't like almost. I was looking at buying that token too, but I'm like, I don't know. We gotta see. I don't know about RealFi. If y'all know about RealFi, let me know. Hit me up in the comments if it's real or if it's a fraud, scam. Let me know. So ETFs were pushed back again. Latest October 21st, I believe, is the date. And I kind of knew this was going to happen. Let me just read this here. I told you nobody gets a XRP ETF until BlackRock gets it first. And that's something I heard about before. BlackRock hasn't put in their application to have XRP as an ETF yet. And, that's strange because you have Frank Templeton and all these other big Canary Capital, all these other big wigs, 21 shares, putting in for the ETF, but you haven't seen BlackRock do it yet. So maybe now that they push this date back conveniently, maybe we'll see BlackRock jump in before that final date on the 21st. Or if they put it through before, we don't know. So the Real Remy Relief says BlackRock eats first. They beat the crowd and filed for an XRP ETF years ago. He says it did years ago. I don't know about that. All their papers are in and they'll get approved when the time is right. Hydra XRP, they are doing everything possible to get us to sell. They are all in on it. Everyone from my favorite president to DS to Ripple to Larry Fink, they need and want our XRP. They'll let you have and use drops, but not XRP. Secure it. For those that are not in the know, the smallest unit of XRP is called a drop. One XRP is divisible until 1 million drops, meaning one XRP equals 1 million drops, according to XRP ledger documentation. Why a million? Hide your XRP. And this is a crazy thing I said to my brother one day too. I told my brother that I believe the XRP would get to $1 million one day. It could be 40 years, 50 years, whatever. But And maybe not. Maybe it's just too crazy. But we don't know what's going to happen with AI and crypto, and if XRP would be one of the leading cryptos of the world and process a lot of transactions. We don't know. And with this, all the ecosystems is going to grow with AI as well. It's going to grow immensely faster than anything we've had before. Right now, they say, all of our markets equal a quadrillion dollars. Who's to say it won't surpass that and be quintillion or sextillion in the years to come, 10 to 15 years to come? And who's to say the XRPL won't process a lot of those transactions? But I want to show y'all something else here. Oh, okay. This is salt. I actually just found this just now. It popped up on my followers list because of King Valex. I don't know how to say his name. But I didn't know about salt, so I did some research on salt after I heard Tim Scott speak. So let's listen to him speak, and then we're going to break down what salt is and what they are doing there this week.
So when I talked about the team earlier, I know we're running out of time. When I talked about the team earlier, a couple really important points. You think about the administration, you got Paul Atkins over there. We have Slacks over there. We now have at the Fed, Mickey Bowman, who's over there. And then you have people like me and French Hill in the Senate and the House running our committees. We now have a team that's leaning in, and we feel like we have to get it done now. Executive action is not enough, period. If one president hated it, this one loves it. We need a Senate and a House that gets legislation passed. So when I talked about
Tim Scott, he's really trying to do some things, man. He's really trying to get that legislation out there and passed so that there is no confusion about blockchain. He's been a heavy hitter. Yeah, he's also in the committee of baking and has been spearheading these laws, these legislation that has been come forth from Senate for the Senate when it comes to him. Another guy too. There's been 2 or 3 other people, but Tim Scott I know definitely. So SALT it's in Wyoming right now from the 18th to the 21st. SALT and Kraken are hosting the Wyoming Blockchain Symposium on August 18th, 21st, 2025 at the Four Seasons Resort Jackson Hole. So let's I went to the event. Let's see what this is here. So this is the Wyoming Blockchain Symposium. Wish I knew about this sooner. Let's take a look at this.
We're in transformative times, and you're at the forefront of it. The digital economy unleashes the sovereign individual, the person who can be determinative of their own life.
There's billions and billions of dollars on the sidelines right now because there's not clarity and certainty in the regulatory state in the United States of America.
The ability to move between the standard banking and digital assets is something that Wyoming can pioneer. We can do it safely.
The old fractional reserve system didn't work with the deposits that could literally disappear in the span of minutes. So here we are to try to solve that durable banking problem, and I'm convinced we will ultimately solve it.
Look, there is a better path for these individuals and consumers than what we see right now.
They want to be with people who build something that's bigger than themselves, and that's for a bigger reason.
The scale of things just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it really is about, freedom, innovation, individuals being able to have a seat at the table, financial inclusion, and all these really noble end goals that I know will be realized by crypto, and it's really just a matter of time. And so that's kind of the real big picture of why we're here and why we do what we do.
All right, so that is SALT. See, and if you're not tuned in on this and looking for this information and looking at what kind of events is going on and paying attention to the Congress when they pass bills, you're not gonna know these things. You're not gonna know this stuff. It's just you'll wake up one day and they'll be like, oh, here's a stable coin. Okay, what's that? I'll use it. You're just following. You're just using what they put out. You're not taking any action to actually invest in the technology itself, which you can before it's too late. I believe one day that we're not going to have access to these tokens fully. They're going to be so high that you're not really going to be able to buy anything. But so SALT is driving digital finance forward in Jackson Hole. SALT and Kraken host the second annual Wyoming Blockchain Symposium with support from the University of Wyoming Center for Blockchain and Digital Innovation. The invitation-only 350-person event brings together leading investors, entrepreneurs, and policymakers in the digital asset ecosystem for focused discussion and networking in the Tetons. The goal of the event is to catalyze more forward-thinking digital assets regulation, to create a more decentralized rather than centrally planned global financial system, and 3, drive greater institutional understanding and adoption of blockchain infrastructure. See, so they are pushing, I don't know what you guys are doing or what you've been hearing, but they are pushing blockchain forward. Whether you are paying attention or not, it's going forward. So these are some of the speakers here. We got Mark Gordon, 33rd Governor of Wyoming. We have Paul Atkins, SEC Chairman, 34th of the SEC. We have Chris Waller, member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. So he's part of the Federal Reserve, is here as well. SEC is here. You got Congresswoman here, Senator of Wyoming. You got Tim Scott from North Carolina. Is it North Carolina? South Carolina? South Carolina. You got also another the Board of Governors member and Vice Chair Michelle Bowman. I've seen her a few times. Co-Chief Executive Officer. I don't know if they're talking about SALT here. You got Eric Trump there. They are pushing. Oh wait, talking about this. There's more speakers. Stuart Alderati of Ripple. He is the CFO. Mike Alfred, Alpine Fox LP. They're just heavy hitters at this event. BitGo, Hedera is going to be there. Blockstream, Human Rights Foundation, the Federal. Oh yeah, she is Federal Reserve. Michelle Bowman. Just heavy hitters here, and this is what they were doing this week, 18th to the 21st. While you're working at your 9 to 5, while your kids are in school, they're having a symposium in Wyoming talking about blockchain and pushing blockchain forward. You're missing it. You're about to miss out. Jake Claver, he believes, remember I told you, he believes that XRP will get to $1,500 this year, by the end of this year. People think it's crazy. We're going to see. Everything's going to be revealed December. We're going to find out if Jake was, if his domino theory, if it falls the way he does, the way he thinks it's going to fall this year. Apex Group, Daniel Coher, U.S. House of Representatives. Who else is here? Ando Finance, Ian Day Bode. Stellar's there. Danielle Dixon. Securitize, Carlos Domingo. Heavy hitters at this event. Another, I don't know what 8 is. I don't know. I'm sure all these people are heavy hitters. I just don't know Paxos. I just don't know some of these things. Charles Hawkinson, input output. What's that? Cardano. I don't know what input output is. Kraken, of course. Franklin Templeton. Jenny Johnson, the fingertip. CNBC will be there covering it. Open Ledger, never heard that one. Uniswap. This list goes on. That's a lot of speakers. The Digital Chamber. Blockchain Association, Naval Labs, Chainlink's gonna be there, or is there? Denari, Near Protocol, and they're showing you what coins will be around still. They're showing it to you. They're showing you because these are always the people. No, not at all events, but a lot of these faces you see at other events as well. Or these companies you see at other events. Oh, Eleanor Terry, of course she's going to be there covering it. I love her. She's a good journalist. I follow her. There's only a few people I follow now because a lot of people just give hype. She's there. She'd be at these events speaking to these people. So I trust a lot of what she says and what she reports because she's there. Algorand Foundation, another member of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is heavy in there. It's BNY. We know that RLUSD, BNY Mellon is going to be the bank that holds. They chose them to hold the assets. I believe that's correct. If I'm wrong about anything, please comment. Let me know, because this is not just an easy. This is not just something that we're all. Some of us are just all figuring out. Some people know, but some of us are still figuring it out. JP Morgan's gonna be there. Man, just the list. The list is long. The list is long. So, let's go down here real quick. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? They had Q&A. Kathy Wood, investor education. Kathy Wood. Global events, they have 5 destinations, 250 plus speakers, attendees 3,000. And normally doing in New York, Bermuda, Jackson Hole, which they have it now, Abu Dhabi, and Singapore. And you're seeing hubs now too for them. Abu Dhabi, they do a lot in UAE. Ripple does. It's starting to do a lot in UAE and Dubai. Singapore is a big one. I don't know about Bermuda, New York. Americans just jumping on board. SALT is a community of world's foremost investors, creators, and thinkers. Our mission is to drive prosperity and innovation by connecting investment capital with intellectual capital. We achieve our mission by helping institutional investors, sovereign wealth funds, and government pensions to endowments and foundations to family offices and financial advisors connect with each other, asset managers, from hedge funds to venture capital to private equity/credit, company founders from fintech to deep tech to climate tech. SALT was founded in 2009. By Skybridge Capital. This is right after Bitcoin came online. A year after. This is around. It had to be around the same time, same year. A leading fund of funds, but now operates as a standalone entity. Continue to do your research. Please like right now. Please comment. Please subscribe, and see you next time.